Hi-yo YouTube, my name is Dexter, and welcome to this Heroes of the Storm theory crafting build featuring Alexstrasza, the Lifebinder, I think is her name. The also Queen of the Dragons. I like her giant horns, and I like that. I like her giant horns, and I like the flourish that she does with her cape every time she stops walking. One thing I don't understand about Alexstrasza, and I'll go over this at the end of the video, is I don't understand her second skin and why it has the giant cleavage window. But it does, and we'll go over that when we get to it. But for now, I'm going to talk about Alexstrasza and all of her abilities. So, buckle up, chuckle nuts. We're going to be in this for a long time. This is the second time I've had to do this video because the first time I guess OBS just didn't want to record, so that kind of sucks. But here we go. Starting with her Q button. It's called Gift of Life. It's on a 7-second cooldown, costs 15% of your current health. So, at the start of a game, 15% of your max health will go to healing someone for 150% of that amount. If you're in dragon form, it's, I believe, 30% of your current health for no cost to you. It's 150% of 30% of your health at no cost to you. So, you can just pump that out endlessly, pretty much. Just hit the button, and then they get healed, and it's on like a 3-second cooldown, I think. Let's toggle cooldowns just so I can have the dragon when I want to go talk about it. Her W button is called Abundance. Plant a seed of healing that blooms after 3 seconds, which is a long time. Keep in mind that is a very long time, and if you'll excuse me, I'm going to take a drink of water because I'm thirsty. Abundance is a very long time for healing to happen. But when it does, every allied hero in this circle gets 20% of their max health back. And it's solid. It's solid. Unless you get crowd controlled out of it. And then lastly, her E button is called Flame Buffett, or as I keep trying to call it, Flame Buffet. Because that word is buffet to me. My brain does not realize that it says it's a different word. It's Buffett, but I keep saying buffet. So if it happens, I apologize. But the way Flame Buffett works is you throw out a fireball. Doesn't do a lot of damage on impact, doesn't do a lot of damage over time, but it marks enemies for 5.5 seconds. I thought it was just 5 seconds. Marks enemies for 5 seconds. It's on a 2-second cooldown. You can throw this out every 2 seconds on a target that's already burning, and it'll reset the mana cost, or refund the mana cost, and it hits every enemy hero in this line. So if there's like 2 people here, you'd hit them all. And if one person was already on fire when you hit them, you refund the mana cost. It's probably my favorite build. The fireball is probably my favorite thing to build for as Alexstrasza. But I do enjoy the rest of her talents, which I'll go over after I talk about her dragon form, which is her passive, Dragon Queen rather. It's on a 150-second cooldown, even longer than Ragnaros's Molten Core. After 1.25 seconds, transform into a dragon and gain bonus health. I'm going to set this to level 20 real quick. So, choose a talent. Yeah, I'm going to set this to level 20. I'm going to hide those real quick, and I'm going to close that out. So, level 20, dragon form gets you 1100 bonus health. Additionally, while you're in dragon form, Alexstrasza's basic abilities are empowered, and her basic attacks deal damage to enemies and heal allies in a cone. I guess I have to toggle cooldowns. I didn't realize setting myself to level 20 would reset that. So, we are going to just hit dragon form. This is Alexstrasza's dragon form. Allies and enemies in this cone get hurt and or healed if they're an ally. If they're an enemy, they just take damage. But in dragon form, Breath of Life replaces Seed of Life, I think it's called, and heals for 20% of Alexstrasza's current health. Abundance. Let me see that again. Abundance becomes Preservation, and it heals for 30% of the target's maximum health after 3 seconds in a much wider area. And then Flame Buffet becomes Wing Buffet, or Flame Buffett becomes Wing Buffett. See, I did it. And you just knock people back and slow them by 50% for 3 seconds. Holy shit, that's a lot. So Alexstrasza, first healer in Heroes of the Storm to heal for percents of target's maximum health, which I don't really think that's much of an accomplishment, but I do appreciate it. And then we'll go over her ultimates. I'll just grab some talents real quick. Lifebinder is her first ultimate. It sounds really strong, as does its level 20 upgrade. Normally I go into these things blind, but since I said the first video didn't record, I already know what most of them are. Lifebinder, though. 75-second cooldown, 100 mana to cast it. Bind Alexstrasza's life force with an allied hero. After 2 seconds, the hero with a lower percentage of health is set to the same percentage as the one with the higher amount of health. So, say I'm at 75% health, and that guy right there is about to die. I click on him, and then he's healed for 75% of his maximum health. It's really strong. I like the sounds of it. And then the other one just feels badass. Cleansing Flame. After 1.25 seconds, the same amount of time as it takes you to transform into a dragon, take to the skies and drop 5 fireballs over 6 seconds at the position of the mouse cursor. Fireballs deal 329 damage to enemies, mind you this is at level 20, and heal allied heroes for double that amount, which is 658. Roughly double. No, that is double. That is exactly double. After 2 seconds of dropping all fireballs, Alexstrasza lands at the position of her mouse cursor. So, I can be over here, take Cleansing Flame, and then I drop in. And then I drop fireballs everywhere. Wherever I want. In this... Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't realize it was pretty much global. That's cool. So, that's neat. Oh, that's why I have that. Okay. That's a talent that I took. Right. So those are her abilities. Now we're going to go over her talents. Save for... I'm just going to set my level back down to 1 because I don't want that flower there. That comes in later. Set level. Back up to 20. Okay. So, my personal favorite build for Alexstrasza is the Flames of Fury build. The Flame Buffett build. It just allows you to be super aggressive. But I'll go over her 75% and up build. Live and Let Live. While Alexstrasza is above 75% health, Gift of Life English is hard today. While Alexstrasza is above 75% health, Gift of Life cooldown recharges 100% faster. So, it'll give me a nice little marker right there to show you how much exactly I will get. Or show me exactly when I can't cast this. Basically, after 2 casts, I no longer get this lowered cooldown. But the talent that I take at level 7 kind of counteracts that, so it doesn't really matter as long as I'm not getting hit. But the talent that I take at level 4, I'm going to take Exuberance. While above 75% health, gain 15% movement speed. It's really strong. That's half mount speed. You outrun pretty much everybody except for Lunara. And I think Rhaegar in wolf form. I'm not entirely certain. But Life Blossom is where these talents really start to take off. Life Blossom. While Alexstrasza is above 75% health, Gift of Life creates a Blossom of Life at the target. Let me start that over again. While Alexstrasza is above 75% health, Gift of Life creates a Life Blossom at the target's location. Alexstrasza can collect the Life Blossom to make her next Gift of Life cost no health. So that flower I picked up earlier? Yeah, that's what this was. I grabbed that, and I no longer cost mana or cost health to heal this person. And my cooldown on this thing is 3.5 seconds. It takes half off of this. So every 3.5 seconds, I can heal somebody for 882 health at level 20. As long as I'm not getting hit. As long as I'm above that little yellow dot right there, I can heal for 800... I can heal for 900 health every 3 seconds. Strong as fuck. I don't think I need to tell you that. But I'm going to take Lifebinder, because I like the sound of Lifebinder. This talent tier is all about who the priority focus is. And if you're a solo support or not. It's kind of... I like it. It's very situational, though. Each of these talents are very, very situational. If you are the primary target, you take Dragon Scales. Like, if the enemy team has a ton of crowd control, you take Dragon Scales. If you are the only person they're focusing in fights, or if you find yourself to be the only person they're focusing in fights, this will let you survive through fights much better than normal. Gain 30% armor while you're stunned, silenced, or rooted, and for 2 seconds afterward. So the entire duration that you're affected by anything, any of these 3 crowd control effects, you will get the armor for it. And then 2 seconds after that effect wears off. But it can only trigger once every 10 seconds. So let's say you take a Sylvanas Wailing Arrow to the face, like point blank, level 20 Wailing Arrow, silenced for 5.5 seconds, I believe it is. You will get 30% armor. You will take 30% less damage for 7.5 seconds. Because you took the Wailing Arrow to the face, you were silenced for 5.5 seconds, and then 2 seconds additionally after that. But it only happens once every 10 seconds. If you're up against a lot of crowd control that focuses on you primarily, and if it's like chain crowd control, you take Dragon Scales, because it just mitigates the damage that they might deal to you. Pacify, on the other hand, is if you are up against a very, very aggressive dive assassin, or just any dive hero. Activate to slow and reduce an enemy hero's damage by 50% for 3 seconds. If you heal a stunned, silenced, or rooted ally, Pacify's cooldown is reduced by half. Or 30 seconds. It says 30 seconds there, but it's half because it's a 60-second cooldown. So if you're up against, again, a lot of crowd control, but if it's like a really aggressive diver, like let's say Alarak dives your team, hit him with Pacify. If he's able to silence somebody, you hit them with your Q, and that person just lowered Pacify's cooldown by 30 seconds. So you can do it again. Or let's say he hits your entire team. Let's say you call his bluff. Let's say you call it when he's coming in. And then you just drop this. You pacify him when he gets there. And then if you hit more than one person with Abundance, you have reset Pacify's cooldown. It's a little harder to pull off, but a lot more effective. And then Life Unbound, if you are not the priority target. Basically, if you're the secondary support, you can take Life Unbound. Activate to heal an allied hero for 15% of their maximum health, and deal 439 damage to enemies nearby. Healing a stunned, rooted, or silenced target, the same as Pacify, will reduce this cooldown by 30 seconds. So if you can heal 3 allies under any of those effects, you will reset this cooldown. And keep in mind, the other thing it does is allow that target to be more defensive, or stay alive a little bit longer, because it's 15%. Guaranteed 15% of their maximum health, and a little bit of retaliation damage in return. So, I'm gonna go Dragon Form real quick, just to show this off. And you can use those talents while in Dragon Form. No, you can't. Never mind, I lied. Can I cancel Dragon Form? I really wish I could. Alright, I didn't actually take it. So, Life Unbound. So, that dude's right on top of him. Yeah, I dropped Life Unbound on him, and he got a lot of health back. And the enemy took a lot of damage. Well, I mean, 450 damage, right? Roughly, excuse me. It's solid. I like that. I like that talent. I should have gone over all the talents first, but I'm going after the builds, because I don't really want to talk about all the talents again. In case you can't tell, I'm a little starting to go a little hoarse. This water isn't really helping me any. Speaking of which, took another drink. Okay. I like these talents. I also like 16 talents. They're again more defense talents. Defense-oriented talents, except for Draconic Discipline. Well, even that one kind of is. But Draconic Discipline increases Dragon Form by 9 seconds. So it lasts 24 seconds instead of 15. But Tough Love, while Alexstrasza is above 75% health, Gift of Life grants its targets 20% armor for 2 seconds. So, this is my 75% and up build, so I'm going to take Tough Love. Whoop, wrong button. That guy who gets healed by the Q, and then the W afterward, he takes 20% less damage for 3 seconds? What was it? 2 seconds. So, basically, like, 2/3 of the duration of my, cooldown, he's taking less damage. And then I can heal him again and again and again and again, as long as I can keep grabbing these flowers for free. I like Alexstrasza. I don't know if that's come across yet or not, but I like Alexstrasza. Alexstrasza is a solidly designed hero. I like the sounds of her. She's probably going to be obnoxious as fuck to play against, but she sounds fun to play as. Which I'm looking forward to. And then Ritual of Life is one of our level 20 talents. Lifebinder activates 3 times over 6 seconds. So basically, as long as one of you doesn't die immediately, neither of you are going to die over 6 seconds. On Ruby Wings is her upgrade to the other ultimate. Healing or damaging heroes 8 times or more with Cleansing Flame activates Dragon Queen upon landing. But it's only active for 15 seconds. So if you've taken Draconic Discipline, you don't get it. You just get baseline 15-second Ruby, 15-second Dragon form. Ancient Flame. While Dragon Queen is active, Alexstrasza's basic attacks apply Flame Buffett, but her attack speed is reduced by 25%. I like this one for my Fire build, my aggressive Alexstrasza build, and then Blessing of the Red. Activate to grant an allied hero 500 bonus health until they die. Cannot be used on Alexstrasza or a hero who has already received Blessing of the Red. So this one just makes your allies more tanky, and that's the one I'm going to go with, because I like having healthier allies. I like having tankier tanks. I don't think I have to tell you why. But, as long as I can keep healing people and grabbing these flowers, I can continuously heal people and grab flowers. It's just, like, this build, I think... This build, like, when I first saw the talent Live and Let Live, I was like, that sounds really bad, because after 2 heals, you don't get it anymore. And that's not any time at all, and you lose all of your health doing so. And then I got to level 7 and saw Life Blossom, and then I was like, oh, that changes everything. But that's the build. This is one build that I would go with, like, reasonably go with. Life Unbound, like I said, you can change these out at will. Like, no matter what the game is, you can get use out of any of these. Same with, well, not really the same with the 16 talents, but these are very situational, and it all depends on the matchup you're in. But everything else is whatever you might need or want. So we're going to reset talents, and basically I've come up with 3 separate builds. I'll go over the other 2 talents and then tell you which one I would take at every other level. Circle of Life, I like a lot. I like that one a lot. That one, when I first started the first video, this one sounded the coolest. But you collect regen globes to empower Circle of Life. After you get 15 regen globes, Circle of Life, Abundance heals for an additional 5% of the target's maximum health. So it goes from being 20 to 25%, a quarter of any target's maximum health after 3 seconds. That's kind of hard to pass up. And then additionally, after collecting 25 regen globes, Abundance's healing burst creates another regen globe. So as you collect regen globes, you get more regen globes for casting an ability on a 16-second cooldown. And Flames of Fury, hit 20 burning heroes with Flame Buffett. After hitting a burning hero with Flame Buffett, reduce Dragon Queen's cooldown by 5 seconds after you hit 20 heroes. So, you throw that out, and then you throw that out again. That's 5 seconds off. That's another 5 seconds off. And every enemy in this line, if they're on fire, gives you 5 more seconds. It's really strong if you want to play a very aggressive support. Really, you could go either, like, any of these talents. Like, I think any of Alexstrasza's builds are viable if you know how to do it. My personal favorite is Flames of Fury, and just build for Fireball talents. And then level 20, Ancient Flame. But I'm going to go with Circle of Life. I'm going to talk about Circle of Life for a bit. Because I like the sounds of it. I like the sound of regen globes after healing people, because that's just more healing that you can pump out. I mean, I don't think it tracks it on your hero stats, but it's more healing that you otherwise wouldn't get, which I don't think is a bad thing. More healing is never bad as a support. But Surge of Vitality is also really cool, although it takes a long-ass time for that to happen. It's like Gul'dan's Curse of Exhaustion. Surge of Vitality takes 3 seconds to get your allies' bonus movement speed, which is kind of hard to pull off, because in the middle of a fight, nobody's going to sit here for 3 seconds. You can't really... like, that's the size of a butcher lamb to the slaughter. You can't really dodge in that if you're a larger hero. But the bonus movement speed is nice. I do like it. Heat Exhaustion, on the other hand, the other thing about Flame Buffett is when you hit a hero that's already burning, you slow them for 2 seconds. Heat Exhaustion increases that slow to 60% instead of 40%, but it still bleeds out over 2 seconds. So it's a lot more potent slow that doesn't last as long. Or, I mean, it'll last the same amount of time, but it's a more potent slow. I like Surge of Vitality, but it really... A lot of Alexstrasza's talents just come down to, what does my team need, or what do I need to play around or against? If your team needs to get around a map, or get around a fight quicker, you take Surge of Vitality. You just throw down the big circle before your team arrives, get them to heal up in the circle, and then run forward, because you're going at mount speed now for 3 seconds. Nobody can outrun that, or at least very few heroes can. I think the only one who can is Lunara at level 20, and Malthael at level 1 if he takes On a Pale Horse, but I don't know why you'd take that one. But I'm going to go with Surge of Vitality, because I'm going for a Circle of Life build here. Verdant Flourish is what makes the first quest amazing. Alexstrasza receives 30% more healing from Abundance, and 100% more healing from Regen Globes. So, I don't know if that stacks on top of this, because I'm bad at math, and I don't know how much exactly I'd get. But, this is how much health I get back normally. 784. We're going to complete quests. We're going to toggle cooldowns real quick. 784. Hey, I said toggle cooldowns. There we go. 784, and then I get... oh, it's still 784. I don't... Oh, no. I didn't actually... Okay, it's still 70... Is that allied heroes, or... Yeah, I don't think it applies to me. But Verdant Flourish sure shit does. So, 784 health. We're gonna go get shot a little bit. Thank you, boys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, and then we're gonna take Verdant Flourish. 784. Keep that number in your head. 784. 1019. So much health I just got back. And a Regen Globe. Because I took... I accidentally finished the quest. So 1019 health for yourself. I'm not gonna pass that up. I'm not gonna pass that up. A lot of Alexstrasza's talents are too strong to pass up. But you gotta choose one or the other. And I like Verdant Flourish, although it does take a little bit of time to trigger. It's like a much longer, less payoff Rhaegar ultimate, but it's on an infinitely shorter cooldown. Wait, that Regen Globe resets the mana cost. Or at least it does at level 20. Of Preservation. Or Abundance. And then for this build, I'd still take Lifebinder. Cleansing Flame feels badass. Lifebinder is more, like... I'm gonna say easier to use. And then whatever talent you want at this one, I'm gonna say I'm the only support, so I'm gonna take Dragon Scales. I like Overprotective. Heroes healed by Abundance gain a shield for 3 seconds equal to 60% of the amount healed. So the healthier tank that you have, the more health they're getting back from this shield. It does apply to Alexstrasza, and the amount of health she gets back from her own quest, or from her own Verdant Flourish. Which is a lot. That's 1,000 and that's 1,600 health I get back for 3 seconds, and then just 1,000 health afterwards. That makes Alexstrasza stupid tanky, and I believe it applies to my dragon form as well. Which I'm gonna go over real quick. Ancient Flame is... Oh wait, no, I didn't want Ancient Flame. I wanted Blessing of the Red because I just wanted to make allies more tanky. Blessing of the Red, you can't use it on yourself, but you can use it on other people. I believe I talked about it. But Ancient Flame is what makes... I mean, it does reset, or it does kind of help you with your mana costs, because while Dragon Form is active, Alexstrasza's basic attack apply Flame Buffet, or Flame Buffett, and her attack speed is reduced by 20%. So while I'm in Dragon Form, normally my attack speed is 0.8 attacks, like 0.8. Fuck, words are hard. It's 0.8 attacks every second. So basically, you get 2 attacks every 1.5 seconds. Is how that works. I also need to see something if toggle cooldowns. I need to see something if Dragon Form gets the Dragon Form Preservation gets the shield. So we're going into Dragon Form. I'm gonna throw that down real quick. Nope, doesn't get the shield. Okay, I'm okay with that though. I'm really not surprised by that in the slightest. So, instead of Ancient Flame, I'd take Blessing of the Red at level 20 for the Abundance build. Although it's not terrible. I would much rather have Blessing of the Red to make my allies stronger so they could get more healing out of Abundance, because it's 20%, 25% of their maximum health. And then just give them more max health. It would make them stronger. Although it would make them more susceptible to percent health damage like Tychus or Malthael. Or Malthael. I hate Malthael. I really do. And I know everybody's tired of hearing me talk about it, but it's just... Ugh. Every time I think about Malthael, it makes me angry. And then lastly, we're going to go for the aggressive Alexstrasza build. Starting with Flames of Fury. Hit 20 burning heroes with Flame Buffett. Hitting a burning hero with Flame Buffett reduces Dragon Queen's cooldown by 5 seconds if you can hit 20 other people that are already on fire. So you do that, then you do that, then you do that, and you just keep getting stacks on Flame Buffett. It's just solid. It's a good talent. If you're not the solo support and you want to pump out a little more damage, Flame Buffett. Flames of Fury. No one's gonna judge you, or at least I won't. I understand what you're doing. Heat Exhaustion makes it so enemies have a harder time getting away from you. When you light somebody on fire, they go 60% slower for the first basically second. It's really strong. I can't really turn that down. Fire Within is what makes this talent build really good. Hitting a burning hero with Flame Buffett heals Alexstrasza for 10% of her maximum health, which is going to come in handy much, much later. I'm going to take Cleansing Flame just because it looks cool, and I want to be angry. I want to be aggressive. So we just pop into dragon form, and we just drop shots everywhere. I like how I can go wherever the hell I want. I really can. Then I'm just going to land on this dude. Bam! Hi, how you doing? I'm back. just took a little knight's tour. Don't mind me. I'm going to take Dragon Scales just because I like it. Draconic Discipline is what I would take for this one, because it increases Dragon Queen's duration by 9 seconds and plays very, very nicely into the last talent that I would take, which is Ancient Flame. While Dragon Queen is active, Alexstrasza's basic attacks apply Flame Buffett, but her attack speed is lowered by 25%. Wait, I thought it said 20%. It did say 20%. I misread it. Okay. I misread that like 4 times now. I initially thought it said like 30%, and then I thought it said 25, then I thought it said 20, then I thought it said 25 again. I've misread this talent like 9 different times, because I'm bad at reading. But, keep in mind, every auto attack in a cone in front of me lowers the cooldown of my next cast of Dragon Queen, heals me for 20% of my maximum health, and slows enemies by 60%. Every auto attack in dragon form. I'm going to toggle cooldowns and show you just how long it takes off of the initial effect. So I'm going to throw that out once and then hit dragon form. 150-second cooldown. I'm just going to attack one person, because it really only applies to one guy. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. I think that slows my auto attacks. I don't know. But 24 seconds, 0.6 attacks every second for 24 seconds. So that's like roughly, I don't know. I'm bad at math. Bad at time-based math. I'm just bad at math in general. But 55 seconds. I've taken 95 seconds off of my passive. And then I can come back and start chucking fireballs every 2 seconds to take 5 more every hero that I hit that's already on fire. It's stupid aggressive, and I love it. It does take some getting used to, though, because you will... Basically, to play this build flawlessly, I say flawlessly, but like this one is a little less labor-intensive, but my 75% and up build, my healthy Alexstrasza build, requires a lot more, like, effort on your part to do properly, to pump out as much damage and healing as possible. Because you throw these out every 2 seconds. You get a flower blossom every, basically, a flower blossom every or you get another heal every, like, 3.5 seconds. And then you have to go pick up the flower, and you have to throw more fireballs. You have to throw that down. You have to throw more fireballs. You have to heal more. It's a lot more, like, labor-intensive, but a lot stronger, too. So I'm just going to throw fireballs at these guys. And that's the 3 builds that I can come up with for Alexstrasza. They're all really strong. They all seem viable to me, and I appreciate that. Because a lot of heroes have talents that just aren't. A lot of heroes just have talents that aren't viable no matter what you do, but all of these sound really strong. Like, all of these have a use, and I appreciate that. But this one is definitely my favorite. This one is definitely very angry, very aggressive Alexstrasza build, and I like that I can have an aggressive support that can heal herself and allies as effectively as she can heal herself as effectively as she can heal allies, and that rewards you for, like, I'm not gonna say dive into the fray, but it rewards you for, like, just doing what you'd normally do already. Unlike Tyrone. I hate Tyrone. Tyrone is not a support anymore. Tyrone's an assassin, but that's an entirely different rant for another time. But the last thing I'll say about Alexstrasza, and it involves her skin, the skin that she launches with. I also really like this loading screen. I'm just going to talk about I like that loading screen. That loading screen looks really cool. Yeah. So I like all of Alexstrasza's skins. I especially like the dragon aspect, like what would have been her master skin. I like it. I like all of these skins. Timeless is my favorite. Look at that. That's fucking gorgeous.
Do not delay, mortal.
But
Life requires a stalwart defense.
The one thing I don't understand is why does the aspect of life get an Elvira skin? What's Elvira's title? It was from a comedy horror movie. Elvira, like, Mistress of the Dark or something like that? I don't remember. I don't know why Alexstrasza gets it, and I don't understand the giant cleavage window either. But one thing I will say is that it does change her abilities. It only changes 2 of them, though. Her fire, or at least not only 2 that I saw. Her fireballs have a black trail behind them instead of a red trail, and her dragon turns into, like, that. This whole thing just as a dragon. I'll just show it real quick, and then I'll call it an episode. But I adore this splash art. That is so good. That is just a nice looking piece of splash art. So yeah, see, that's my fireball. It fires out a little dark flame, and it's interesting. I'm just gonna turn off all these things. Select ally hero. Fuck off, Malfurion. I didn't test if and fuck off, Arthas. I didn't check if it changed her ultimate. I'm just gonna set talents to 10. Set talent. Or set level. I'm just gonna grab. Fuck it. We're gonna take Cleansing Flame. But, toggle cooldowns. Gonna turn that off. Toggle cooldowns again. But okay, so here's classic Alexstrasza. Or, Dark Queen Alexstrasza. I guess her auto attacks are a different color too, so that's neat. And now I'm gonna drop fireballs. I don't know if it'll. Oh yeah, they are a different color. Okay. I like it. I'm not against this. I like this. And then I land here. And then this is my dragon form. It's really cool looking. I like this dragon. But again, I don't understand why she gets the giant fucking cleavage window. But I'm not against it. Like, I'm not inherently against it. I just don't understand why it's there. But it's still cool. But I think I'm gonna enjoy playing as and against Alexstrasza. She definitely is gonna be a lot of fun. But I'm gonna go. Hope y'all enjoyed this this theory crafting video. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I'm excited for this hero. She was announced on or at BlizzCon over the weekend, but I'm looking forward to this hero. She sounds like she's gonna be fun. She sounds like a solidly designed hero, which I'm glad they're kind of going in that direction. Like, the newest heroes that they've introduced recently have been pretty solid. Except for this fucker. This fucker can piss off. You can go to hell. I like Alexstrasza, I like Junkrat, I like Ana, I like Garrosh, I like Stukov. You can piss off too. Nobody likes you. But yeah, like, since Stukov, the only exception to these heroes are well designed has been this fucker. Because he does everything. He did everything better than most burst mages. But I'm gonna, that's, again, another rant for a different time. I'm gonna go. Hope y'all enjoyed this, and I'll see you all next time with another hero build. I'm not gonna be doing Hanzo, because I really don't give a shit about Hanzo. Filthy Hanzo mains. I don't want to be one of them. Just kidding. I actually did an Overwatch. I wanted to be a Filthy Hanzo main. But I'm gonna go. Hope y'all enjoy this, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.